Hello everyone, in this final chapter of this mini-series dedicated to the disclosure of non-human intelligent life, we are going to cover catastrophic disclosure, explaining what it actually is and what would the consequences of it be. But before that, thank you all for your support, it is extremely appreciated. I think that a good starting point for the discussion of catastrophic disclosure is its definition provided by Colonel Carl Nell, whom we have already mentioned several times in other videos. As we can see on the screen, it would be a sudden, unforeseeable and complete revelation of the existence of non-human intelligence, but either such beings themselves or by an adversary, which can basically mean any of the major countries on Earth, depending on the point of view. But is it really that simple? After all, the revelation itself, while definitely right down the alley of some of the most important discoveries humanity could consider, does not sound overly catastrophic as such. As surveys shows, about 60% to two-thirds of people in the Western world believe that intelligent life exists somewhere in the cosmos, so turning the belief surely wouldn't be as catastrophic and damaging as it may seem. Add to that the general acceptance of non-human beings in the folklore of places like South America, the existence of jinn according to Islam, or the fairly quiet but still approval of the possibility by the Catholic Church. So, would it be really that bad? First, we should consider the fact that humanity as a whole tends to behave irrationally when facing unprecedented challenges. Just to remind us of the early stages of the pandemic in 2020 when people mass bought out toilet paper out of all things. But even with that in mind, we should also consider the fact that there are several scenarios of catastrophic disclosure and quite a handful of potential consequences as well. People who are whistleblowers or have been otherwise involved with the alleged UFO, UNP, NHI related projects often mention severe consequences faced by the humanity as a whole in the case of catastrophic disclosure. Let us mention just a few of those. What has been mentioned is the collapse of our economic systems for the starters. Either combined with that or as an alternative, there may be massive social disruptions and possibly even the decomposition of society as we know it. Carnell himself compared one of the possible outcomes to the infamous Bronze Age collapse, where nearly all ancient civilizations went under due to a combination of factors. But what could drive such a drastic outcome? One of the possible scenarios says that the governments know that the aliens are coming our way and that they are not benevolent. Some voices say that they observe the behavior of some UAP objects, especially monitoring our military and nuclear capacities, indicate a recon type activity. In terms of potential invasion, given the displayed abilities of objects such as the Tic Tac one encountered by pilots from USS Nimitz in 2004, there is quite frankly little the governments and the military could do to protect us. And what good is a government which cannot protect us after all? It is easy to see the catastrophic consequences of this scenario here. Next, we have the potential aftershocks of releasing information pertaining to the alleged crash and retrieval program combined with efforts aimed at reverse engineering of non-human exotic tech. Here we have the options of laser mining, a technology rumored to have been successfully recreated to a minor degree by China already. The UFO community has heard about the alleged novel propulsion systems being in development by the US, able to carry nuclear payload to any place around the world in half an hour, according to some scientists. Warp drives, or the ability to travel to other solar systems, as well as advancement in other fields of technology such as medicine, genetics, and so on. Last but not least is the field of energy. The UAP objects require immense energy to behave the way that they do. If solutions such as cold fusion and ultimately zero-point energy, or tapping into the energy contained in the vacuum of space itself with nearly endless and free energy were suddenly available, imagine the backlash related to hiding all of such endeavors over the most of the last 80 years. It would seem that the military-industrial complex has hampered the progress of all humanity for its own good. Oil and gas industry would be gone in an instant. Stock markets crashing would send the global economy and eventually society into total collapse. And one major power mastering alien technology could create such a shift in the power of geopolitics that world balance as we know it could just cease to exist. Then there is also the danger of releasing the equivalent of a hydrogen bomb in terms of energy into the hands of the average person. Not everyone will be willing to put such power to good use, sadly. The next important point to consider is religion. All over the planet, many and actually most of humans believe in some form of a supreme being or force guiding us. The existence of non-human intelligence, especially one that possibly tinkered with our own design as a species via genetics, could possibly wipe all of human beliefs overnight. If aliens were our creators, the Abrahamic paradigm would be immediately gone. Perhaps Buddhism would be the one view surviving such a scenario relatively intact, and even atheism would be put into a serious doubt as a philosophy, with the physically manifested creators being around us. There are other, even more outlandish theories related to human spirituality. Some people, including experiencers, claim that Earth is a prison planet and aliens thrive on our emotional energy, especially the negative one, which would mean that they guide us towards ever-present suffering, wars, and other forms of hate and its consequences. Near-death experiencers and abductees also hint at the possibility that the tunnel of light phenomenon and the deceased relatives welcoming us in it is nothing more than a ploy of aliens who collect our souls and recycle them via reincarnation to perpetuate the cycle of suffering, very much in line with the Buddhist philosophy, although with a completely new twist and angle to it. Even more terrifying is the thought that we may be nothing more than a simulation project run by aliens who exist in either more dimensions than we do or come from a completely different parallel reality altogether. Should something like this be revealed, especially combined with the reincarnation hypothesis, this could possibly lead to a mass wave of people ending their lives in hope of quite literally respawning in better circumstances, not unlike characters in a video game. Now that we have taken a look at just a handful of possibilities, from the more realistic and mundane ones to those really far off into the realms of the so-called woo, it is really easy to see that catastrophic disclosure suddenly released onto humanity could lead to all kinds of problems, which would be way beyond the control of any institution humans have created, be it national or international. So, much as many of us would want the disclosure to happen, and still some claiming that going down the catastrophic disclosure route is the only way to actually achieve it, maybe it is either better to let the sleeping dragons lie, at least for now, and gradually prepare humanity for the big day. And what do you think? Should we aim for disclosure at all, and if so, should it be controlled or catastrophic? Have your say in the comments section and we could have an interesting discussion, hopefully. Thank you all for watching the video and the mini-series. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.